Oh, yes. So I hope everyone has enjoyed themselves this evening. My name is Rasheena Buchanan, and my journey began at this amazing organization back in 2012. Um, I was born and raised here in Los Angeles, left for my grandmother to raise me because for me, my parents were both drug addicts and career criminals, so being parents for them wasn't an option. I had a pretty normal childhood. She gave me the most normal I could have, being that she did it by herself. But that normalcy for me ended when she passed away in the bed next to me. I woke up to a dead body at the age of 13 years old. So I was forced to go live with my parents who were still in their lifestyle. I mean, I saw them fixing and using heroin when I was like age 7 and 8. I knew how to do it myself. Thank God that wasn't the drug of my choice, so I didn't have to worry about that. But they were still in their addiction, still running the streets, leaving me home with my brothers and sisters. I have about 8 brothers and 2 sisters. I was raped by my brother at 14 years old. I started experimenting with drugs after my grandmother died in the bed next to me. So it started out with marijuana. That was pretty much the drug of my choice throughout my whole teenage years, you know. And the abuse that I was dealing with, the sexual, incestual abuse that just made me feel so nasty. I wanted to stay high to kind of like numb myself. I went from an honor student to straight fails, the most absences that any student could probably ever get in school, which was all of them. I ran away from home, well, with my parents when my mother went back to prison, and I went to live with my other brother, which I was terrified of because, you know, I was abused by another one, so I was like, well, what's he gonna do, the same thing, you know? Thankfully he didn't, and he took good care of me, but that wasn't enough. I was already broken, damaged, abused, hopeless, and I started hanging in the streets and got with the gang and just was so reckless. I thankfully at least did graduate high school on time with my class, and my mom had parole from prison when I was 17. I hated her because she was the reason for all of that, for not caring, for not wanting to love me, or just chose my dad and drugs over me. So our relationship was very strained. I met my daughter's father at 19, and he drove me into a tree and broke my femur and my ankle in 7 places, trying to kill me because I didn't want to be with him. My car was burnt from the inside out, and my bone came out of my leg, sitting on my side, and my toes touching my ankles. I mean, the back of my calf. I died on the table when they were trying to do the surgery. I lost more than half the blood in my body, and my heart stopped for nearly a minute. But I was revived. I'm here talking to you guys tonight, so that's a blessing. So it took me about a year to learn how to walk again, and could say I do pretty darn well. I then became pregnant with my daughter like about a year after my healing process. She was a twin. One passed away because my appendix ruptured in my 2nd trimester. And she was healthy though when I had her. But during my accident and my healing process, my mother and I built a bond that became very strong. I had forgiven her. I had told her. I came clean and told her everything that happened to me and why I treated her the way I did. Well, she passed away about half an hour after I got off the phone with her with a normal conversation. Our favorite thing, talk about the soaps and relive the day of the soap operas. She had passed away, so I just didn't care no more. I felt like God had dealt me a shitty hand, you know, from having my virginity violated to been in many near-death experiences and just the ugly life that I had, that I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about life. I didn't value life. I didn't care that I was a mother because I didn't know how to be one because I didn't have one. So I sent my daughter away because I knew that I couldn't properly do anything. And I started trying harder drugs, the hardcore stuff. And I committed a crime that led me to a 7-year incarceration. So this was 2 months after my mother died. So now I'm looking at life. I left my daughter, my mother's dead. Like, my life was just shit. And I ended up getting, in prison, I had to like realize, what am I here for? Like, when I was in that car, I was really touched by an angel, because when I climbed out of the burning car to save the two of us, I realized, well, dang, I can't walk, so I can't really get far. And I just pleaded with God, and 2 men, because this was some train tracks, no one was there, picked us up and put us on the grass, and then they disappeared in thin air. So I reflected on my life while sitting in prison, like, what am I here for? And I just realized all of the error in my ways, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to live the life that I had led. Something had to be different. I had to give my daughter, hopefully, something different and better than what was given to me. So I ended up finishing college, graduated, and getting my degree in business. Thank you. And I paroled from prison in March of 2012, and a friend of mine, I had heard about Homeboy while in prison, but in my opinion, back then, I was like, oh, it's just a gimmick. You know, it's just a gimmick. I don't want to hear it, whatever. So I thought I had it together, and I can just do it all on my own. I got this education. I have this. I have these skills. I'll be fine. Well, no, I was not fine. Every door got closed in my face. As well as I presented and whatever skills I had, it was no, no, no. So my friend kept saying, well, I told you where you need to go. And from the first day that I walked through there, honestly, like, that was my home from the first day. I wasn't even a part of the program yet, but I was there every day, getting on them people's nerves every single day, getting on their nerves. I'm sure they was tired of seeing me because they finally just let me in. So I quickly moved up at that point. Moved up and had a lot of responsibility. I was thankful. I couldn't believe it. You know, I got to write my story and put it on the internet. It was on the website, and, you know, I got offered a scholarship while I was there. It was just a beautiful thing. I started working through my issues, and hey, that's where the trick came in. The issues, everything that I had dredged up back in my life, reliving all of that, sent me backwards. I wasn't ready. I thought I was, but I wasn't ready. And I suffered a relapse. And so this is the wonderful thing about the place I call home. They did not turn their back because I relapsed and gave a dirty test. In fact, they opened their arms wider, made sure that I didn't fall. They sent me to rehab for about 90 days, which I decided 90 days. You guys got 90 days. I think I need more time than that. For me, I need that. So I stayed an entire year, and I completed my treatment February 28th of this year. So I've been drug-free over a year now. And this is my second time around at Homeboy. I've been back since October of 2013. I'm the legal services assistant, and it was so pleasing. At first, I was afraid to come back because I was ashamed for the embarrassment for all that had put so much into me, but it wasn't like that. You know, the welcome and open arms that I received from them, they were even nicer than the first time, you know, like the consistency, the love and support. And I realized about this place, and what you guys should all realize, for some of us, it takes sometimes a second or a third chance, but we do get it. You know, we do get it, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this place because I sat thinking when I had to come speak here, and I reflected back on the people that were there before me in their lives and how successful they are in life, careers, those who are there with me, those who are not here with us tonight and at home already. And I'm positive about those who come after me, because Homeboy Industries has the recipe that works. That is why it is as successful as it is. You know, I didn't really want to look at this, but it's something important I wanted to say. You know, it's truly a place of healing for us broken people that walk through those doors. You know, most of you in this room have not had the pleasure of walking in our shoes. So I want to thank everybody who is a supporter, who will become a supporter, because without you guys and the wonderful staff that we have that are like genuinely there supporting us every day, and I mean all the way down from our case managers all the way up to the CEO and Father G and all those in between, it's here with us. They don't treat us like, oh, we're senior staff, you guys are junior staff. They're sitting in groups with us. They're there to support, to lend an ear. And that's the kind of stuff that we need, the consistent love, support, knowing that we matter. So I now want to introduce or reintroduce a very extraordinary woman that I have grown to come very close to. She gave me something that may have been small to her, it may have been big to her, I don't know. But for me, it was something that'll last, and a memory that will last in my life for forever. I want to reintroduce the Chief Development Officer of Homeboy Industries, Miss Jackie Weber.